And something's brewing, some dawn of justice right here on the WICR Trifecta Live, 421 on the dial, 4:21 p.m. And we're about to get into a special segment. Instead of the lightning round today, we thought it would be cool if we gave you guys a review segment of the latest hit movie, Batman vs. Superman.
Spoiler free.
Dawn of Justice.
Spoiler free because some people didn't see the movie.
Spoiler free.
We're going to keep major plot points out of the movie. We're going to talk about the movie overall and address certain things about it without spoiling the major plot points of the movie.
All right.
So, to start off first, I thought the movie was a mixed bag. I thought the movie had some good stuff, had some bad stuff. I didn't really come in here with like expectations. I wasn't really in here really hyped for it. Or
did you like subconsciously going there with the mindset of thinking it would be a bad movie?
No, not at all. I wasn't hyped for it. I just wasn't. Doesn't mean I didn't think it was gonna be a good movie. I just didn't have any expectations for it.
Okay.
So I came into it with just a blank slate. I didn't see any trailers because I didn't want to get spoiled. So I came in here with an open mind.
You saw the pictures and all that, right?
The only thing I knew were the critiques my friends gave prior to me seeing it. They were saying that it was like a lot of stuff in one movie.
Okay.
And it was a mixed bag. So I went in there seeing it, and I'll say this: the stuff it did good, it did really good. The stuff it did bad, it did really bad. So to start off with the plot, it has some really good elements in it when it starts off. It goes in a certain direction and you would be really hyped for, like the whole Superman thing, the aftermath of his battle with General Zod. People start turning against him, like he pretty much like did some Goku stuff and destroyed the entire city, and people died. It showed the consequences of his actions. Like people really did, and I was hoping they would show that, because a lot of comic book movies, they don't really show what damage their actions
the superhero
cause.
do.
And so this directly affected Batman, because people Batman cared about died in that fight. And so the movie has these two plot lines of Batman and Superman gradually leading up towards a conflict. Like they don't directly address it at first, but you slowly see it coming. Like, okay, these guys are gonna eventually like have beef because like they don't really like each other. They fight, and then the movie takes a different turn after the fight. I'm not gonna go in. I don't want to really spoil anything. Ben Affleck did a really good job as Batman. I would say that. Superman, I'm still not too crazy about him. I think he did better in this movie than he did Man of Steel, in my opinion. Gal Gadot killed Wonder Woman. She did a great Wonder Woman.
Holly Hunter.
Yeah. And Jesse Eisenhower.
Eisenberg.
Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg played Lex Luthor. The Social Network.
And I think he did a great job acting. I'll say that he was a great actor. However, I don't think he was suitable to be what I know as Lex Luthor.
I feel his performance is going to be really hit or miss. I do think he said. I'm going to go over what I liked about the movie first, and I'm going to go over what I disliked about the movie.
Okay.
So I really liked what he said. Like, he had one of the best line of the movie, in my opinion. He said, if God is all powerful, he can't be all good. And if God is all good, he can't be all powerful. I think that's really delved into the psyche of his character, because he was crazy. He had this whole switch thing going on, and it's gonna be really hit or miss. You have to see it for yourself to really deduce anything from it. I do think Lindsay Lohan. Wow, Lois Lane was pretty much the damsel in distress the whole movie. She didn't really do much, and the movie was pretty much struggling to make her relevant. So I didn't approve of her character too much. I do think the movie was really beautiful. Zack Snyder is known for doing really beautiful movies. They're really visually appealing. The action is great, easily, and that's some really good actors in it. And as I said, Ben Affleck killed Batman. I think he made the movie, in my opinion.
I think it was an effort between both Jesse Eisenberg and Ben Affleck. I think their performances really stood out to me the most.
A lot of people,
I
know, like,
his dialogue.
I noticed. Yeah. They just did not like Lex Luthor at all. There was, oh my.
Really?
Goodness,
I heard a lot. I heard great reviews about him myself.
Because his dialogue, his
dialogue was amazing.
His performance didn't match the dialogue. Like his dialogue was kind of crazy, but his performance didn't match the character he's trying to portray. It wasn't menacing. Like it was more so like there's good crazy and there's menacing crazy. Even it's just crazy. Like menacing crazy, like Joker in Dark Knight was crazy. I don't like doing the comparisons with Joker in Dark Knight. He was insane, but he was like Batman had a reason to like have him as his. He's like, oh my goodness, like you fear him. You're like, wow, this guy's a villain. This guy's intimidating. Like Lex Luthor was not intimidating. More so, it was like, yo, this guy just needs help. He wasn't like intimidating. It didn't like make you feel like there's a certain feeling you get as an audience member
when
watching
you see
a villain,
somebody like Lex Luthor.
Like this guy has to die. Like when you see Loki, you're like, that's a villain. Like yo, like. Or you see somebody like Joker, it's like, yo, he has to die or something. Like he has to go. Like he's too much of a nuisance, but he's really likable. You know, Lex Luthor was just like, yo, man, he needs to go. He needs some help, bro.
I'll throw this in there, and this may be a little controversial to say, but take Lex Luthor's portrayal of him, and then like also look at it as mirrored as serial killers today, like the Sandy Hook character, the Sandy Hook guy. You see how crazy he was, but he doesn't look menacing at all.
It's not about looking menacing. It's about how you portray yourself.
I feel like that's the portrayal they were going for.
Like, it's not about how you look. I don't really count. Huh? But if you're in a movie,
because I mean, look at Kylo Ren.
Yeah, but Roberto said, shout out to Roberto. He said that they were setting him up. But it's all about how you're in the movie too. Like for example, like I know you said Kylo Ren. A quick thing in Kylo Ren about Star Wars is that Kylo Ren. He was still like a villain. Like he was cool and he was intimidating. Like Kylo Ren was intimidating. Granted, we had the mask off. It was like but it wasn't like because he was a bad actor. It was because you could see like he had some weakness there. It wasn't all powerful, but like Lex Luthor just did not seem like he was a villain. Like he was menacing.
To me, he seems like a modern day villain because in a lot of TV shows you'll have these guys that don't look menacing. But like the damage that they do, but I mean, then again, you did say that if you look at somebody like the Joker, or you look at somebody like,
I don't mean like physically look at them. I'm saying like how they portray themselves. They just have this like menacing, evil atmosphere around them.
That's the new definition of menacing now. It's just the actions you do and how you act.
But the reasoning and the character behind it that makes the villain though. It's not just the actions. Like I could be in a movie and I can still blow up buildings, but if I suck as a character, I still suck as a character.
I didn't think he sucked as a character though.
I don't think he sucked. It's just really hit or miss depending on. Because
I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you when I say that. I think a better role for him would have been like more like the Riddler or something. I could definitely see him being the Riddler.
Yeah, I feel like he's playing a separate character.
I could definitely agree with you on that part.
And what other thing I like about the movie? I forgot. Why am I forgetting? Who's the actor that played Batman's
Oh, that would be Jeremy. You talking about Alfred?
Yeah.
Jeremy Irons, who also played Scar.
He killed everybody. The Lion King. Everybody on Batman's side was absolutely
great. That was a great casting.
I wanted to see more and more Batman. It shut me up. I was really skeptical of Ben Affleck. I was like, Ben Affleck's gonna suck, but he shut me. He killed Batman. He was really convincing as a Batman. He had really good character development. He had really good motivation, and Alfred was great. Like
I like that modern day portrayal of Alfred.
I just love everything about Batman's character. Like that was just like I was like, I want to see more Batman in the whole movie. I think I would say that.
I really think it would have been a phenomenal Batman film. Just Batman's plot.
Yeah, I would like to see Batman.
I would like to see where they're gonna go with that because that casting was spot on to me and the Batman side.
Yeah, I just love that whole thing. I mean, is anything else? Any other positives you want to say about the movie?
Oh man, again, like I know I don't want to spoil it, but they were a bit lazy with the whole introduction of the Justice.
We're gonna talk about negatives. Talk about the good things.
You want to talk about positives?
We're talking about positives first.
I think we said all the positives. If I agree with you, I think the fight scenes were great too. I'll say that. I like
Zack Snyder. His cinematography is gorgeous.
Yes.
Like his fights, his action. You cannot say anything about his action. Like that will really have you on the edge of the seat. This action is not
his Man of Steel fight scenes were iconic. You see like, honestly, those were the best fight scenes I've ever seen in a superhero movie. And then this one here, so gruesome.
I don't want to spoil the final fight. But the final fight was absolutely amazing. It was visually just gorgeous. Getting into the negatives, the story tried to jumble too much in one film. It had the Batman's entire origins and stuff. I'm glad they glazed over it, but they didn't really like flesh out his character too much. If you didn't know who Batman already was, or like didn't already like Batman, you probably wouldn't like appreciate Ben Affleck as much. But they try to juggle that, try to juggle Superman stuff, and then in the beginning of the movie was like more so like a political driven thriller,
Yeah.
where it was about like Superman and like his perception being negative over time, which I really liked that. I thought that was really good and it was realistic. It was a really realistic movie at first. I feel like towards the middle it just like exploded with all these. It threw too much stuff at you, and it was really hard to grasp all this information.
There were some plots in there that like the casual fan wouldn't understand. I know myself, there was a plot in there that I didn't understand. There's a scene in there like where they cater to the comic book fan.
Yeah, if you didn't,
instead of balancing it, like a lot of things were just shifted to the comic book fan.
Yeah, my dad loves comic books. If I ask my dad, like, because I know comic books a lot more than my dad. If my dad, hey dad, do you know what that meant? He'd be like, I don't know what that means. And you have to like explain this. So like, not everybody reads comic books. Comic books aren't as popular as they used to be. So you have to explain this stuff so people can understand that this is going on, that you're trying to do this whole thing. So I feel like that it was just meshing too much at once. I feel like it could have just like it didn't have to fit all this stuff in. There were about 5 different plot points going at the same time. Pretty much, it was just Batman story, Superman story, Wonder Woman story, and other things, Lex Luthor stuff, all set up in one movie, and you can't do that without like just sacrificing the movie.